Pretty much everyone knows how to make a pizza, or at least knows how to use a phone to get a pizza. But we're going to make the king of pizzas right now.
This is ultimate because we're going to create our very own homemade pizza dough.
Ultimate dough.
We're going to make our own pizza sauce.
Ultimate sauce.
And then toppings, ground beef and a stuffed crust.
Ultimate beef, ultimate crust.
To start off with, we're going to take the dough, so that is bread flour.
Ultimate bread flour.
All right, we get the idea. Everything here is ultimate. This is pizza or pasta flour, so it's 00.
Yeah.
Okay, which means it's a halfway between strong flour and plain flour. That's going to go into our mixing bowl, along with the thing that I think makes this one ultimate, a generous teaspoon of smoked paprika.
Nice.
So that's going to give it a nice smoky flavour and an amazing colour. And then 1 sachet of dried yeast, and all we're going to do is mix that into our water, give it 1 stir up, and the whole thing, warm water by the way, so that's going to start to activate that yeast, and the whole thing gets poured into our flour and smoked paprika. And then Mike, bung that on the back into our mixer with a dough hook, and we're going to knead it quite gently for about 10 minutes. You don't need to overwork it, but you need to do it soft and gentle for a good 10 minutes. And while that's whirring away in the background, we can do our tomato pizza sauce. Okay?
Very nice.
Simple ingredients, we're going to take our tomato and that goes into the pan. So this is passata, the whole jug. A good generous bunch of fresh basil, that can all go in. 2 cloves of garlic, which we just crush down, peel up and throw in whole. And then this is the bit that makes it ultimate, balsamic vinegar.
Vinegar.
So if you make it something like a tomato sauce or a tomato soup, you'd finish the dish with what's called a gastrique. And it's a bit of vinegar that just lifts the whole dish, makes it really tangy and amazing. We're going to put balsamic vinegar in now. Pinch of salt and pepper into the sauce, and that goes onto the hob, bring it up to a boil and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to blend it to a smooth sauce.
Cool.
Okay, in the meantime, can you start to rip up all of that beef? And what we're going to do is add it into a frying pan, along with a pinch of dried chili flakes. So we said the pizza dough didn't have any heat, but this does. A little bit of the chili flake.
You don't want too many, surely, because you don't want the spiciness to ruin the tomato sauce.
No, it should be a best of both worlds. You should have a little bit of rich tomato, the cheese, and the oozy cheese, and then a little bit of spice.
Oozy cheese.
Oozy cheese. That's great. The beef into our pan, and then that goes onto quite a high heat. Notice no added fat in here. The beef will have enough. Just our dried oregano, our chili, a little bit of salt, and onto a heat.
Meanwhile, I'm going to chop up a red onion and a green pepper.
And then what we've got here is our dough, and look at that, fantastic
that.
colour. Really stretch it, and now get your nose in that, smell.
Oh, lovely.
Now you get that smoky flavour coming through.
And I guess that's what sets apart this pizza from ones that you possibly get in a restaurant or buy.
Yeah, especially if you buy them from
dough.
like a supermarket and they're frozen dough, they can be very, very kind of almost chewy. This is really light. Now we divide them into 3, we place them onto a tray like so and give them time. And it's the time they need to prove, makes them really light and fluffy and depth of flavour. We've got some we've already proved, Mike, so grab those. Now this is what you're left with.
To prove it, here they are.
A huge, very, very light and fluffy pizza dough. And that's what we're going to use to roll out and make our stuffed crust. But now all that's left to do is our cheese. Okay, so mozzarella is really creamy and stringy.
Yep.
Parmesan, great for quite strong flavour and goes nice and golden in the oven. And cheddar, the bulk kind of cheese that's going to go inside of our crust. I've got the mozzarella here, which we're just tearing along its kind of natural line. That becomes really creamy and stringy. And then last minute we add the Parmesan, which is a very fine grate, okay, and that will just make it extra flavour, but also is the one that gratinates on top in a hot oven.
If you do want a healthier option, we made a calzone pizza on Feel Good Food, so check that out by clicking on the link below.
Yeah, whole wheat bresaola, a little bit of feta cheese, that was amazing. Ultimate pizza needs a bit of spice. We've got a tiny bit in our beef, but I'm now slicing up some jalapenos. These are going to go into our stuffed crust as well.
So we've had chili flakes in our spicy beef.
Yep.
And now we're putting jalapenos. Is it too spicy?
Great thing about pizza is you make it your own. So if you can mix and match, you can add more chili, or of course less. But now to roll out our pizza dough. So a floured surface, and Mike, you're in charge of this. And the key to keeping it round is to use a plate, and that way you can cut all the way around it, roll in the crust, and it still looks great and spherical. Spherical? Round. Round.
Okay.
Quite thin because it will rise. Remember, it's got the yeast in there, so it will rise in the oven. And you don't want it too thick because you want to cook the pizza toppings really quickly under a high heat to make the cheese go golden. But you need the bread to cook all the way through, so thinner is better in this instance.
How's that, mate?
Looking good, and then just cut around a plate. Or actually,
look at that.
That's pretty damn good. We'll leave that exactly as that is. I'm impressed. Now for our stuffed crust. So what we need to do is build a wall of cheese.
Okay.
So you've grated the cheese, and all I want you to do is go all the way around the outside.
God, that's a lot of cheese.
With a little bit of cheese like that, and then a slight smattering of our jalapeno.
Cool.
Okay, so all the way around.
Talk about Friday night takeaway pizza, don't you? Surely it's more fun and cheaper to make your own. This can become your evening's entertainment and your food.
Do it with friends or with a family.
Especially,
and actually,
yeah, if you've got kids, then this is perfect.
next to roll. So we're going to take the pizza and just roll it, the cheese, into that crust.
Okay. I'm really interested into how this is going to taste. I mean, specifically the dough. It looks like sun-dried tortilla wraps.
Yeah, it's got that amazing colour. This has obviously come from the smoky paprika, but you can put pretty much whatever you like into these things. The important thing is to make sure that it's sealed in, otherwise that cheese is just going to leak. Can you grab our tray from behind us on the oven? Now's a good time to transfer it to a non-stick tray. You ready? It's going to be quick, slippy under.
There you are.
Perfect. As I finish twisting this crust, Mike, if you can grab our sauce and give that a blend.
Yeah.
That's our fresh tomato sauce. Important, this is all clamped in. You don't want any of that cheese leaking out.
There you go, mate.
Fantastic. And then generous spoonfuls of our tomato sauce. So much basil and all that balsamic in there now.
The smell of the vinegar really comes through as well as the basil.
Yep, it's all about, and the garlic as well. It's really good. Grab our beef as well, and all the rest of the toppings go on top now. We have got pepper, we've got our sliced onion, spicy ground beef, which has got the oregano and chili. Our mozzarella, stringy cheese that's going to go lovely and golden oozy. And then Mike, you finish with our third cheese, the parmesan. We've got an oven already preheated to 220, 230 degrees Celsius, so pretty hot. And this is going to go in there for 8 to 10 minutes until the cheese is bubbling and golden and the crust nice and cooked. Look at that.
Oh,
that
yes.
is an ultimate pizza. It smells
Oh, it smells like a real pizza.
like a real pizza, like a proper pizza.
Yeah.
It's homemade, it's got all the finishing touches. All we need to do is grab a slice.
Here we go.
There we go. One for you.
It's hot.
And I want the official verdict. It will be molten cheese. Oh wow.
That is so good.
That's a lot of cheese going on there. And a good pizza should be slightly messy.
The beef comes through loads, but that paprika, that's really strong as well.
Smoky, and when you get to it, the stuff, have you got the stuffed crust
No,
yet?
I haven't got
the
to
best bit, the stuffed crust, the jalapeno with the cheese in there. That's what makes this ultimate.
It's almost like a Mexican-y flavour, isn't it? With the jalapeno, that cheesy, most sorts of flavours.
Well, you sound pretty impressed. And if you guys don't believe him, then make sure you go to sortedfood.com to get the recipe and ingredients and try it for yourself at home. And meantime, while you tuck into another slice, make sure you guys subscribe to Body Talk Daily.
Amazing.
Because this is some of the best chocolate. I'm going to start cutting it up on the board over here.
Yeah.
That's going to go in the cookies, chunked up.
Yes, please.
All those white chocolate chunks in there, and you can see we are not being stingy. That's a lot of white chocolate going in there.
This is massively indulgent. If you are looking for something slightly less indulgent,
Yes, this is naughty.
yes, we have done a skinny muffins recipe as well, so you can check that out.
That's the Feel Good Food series.
I think